God. Screw Comcast. First of all. And second of all, welcome to another edition of Live After SmackDown Live. I am Tonya Rodgers, and I am here with the lovely Andrew M. Swift.
Good evening, everybody. How's everybody doing on Tuesday?
Kind of an eventful couple of days in the world of wrestling. I'm going to leave it up to you. Where do you want to start? You want to start with Raw this week, or you want to talk about SmackDown?
Let's talk about SmackDown. Let's talk about SmackDown first, because people are going to want to hear the Raw stuff, so we'll keep them listening.
The show started with the GM and commissioner of SmackDown Live. They were discussing the incident with Daniel Bryan and The Miz. Mm-hmm. And Shane pretty much said he's in a position of authority. It's up to him to control those interactions with talent. And he has to be better about that, and that he should apologize. Has he apologized personally to The Miz yet?
No. He said he's sorry on Talking Smack, but not to The Miz's face.
Well, I do not think The Miz is going to accept that. I don't think he's going to appreciate it. Anyway, after that, Daniel was kind of like, it's funny that you say that considering the beef that you and Brock have, which is different. Mm-hmm. Going to look after Randy, and Brock just put his hands on him. He put his paws on him. It's different. It's a whole lot, but move on.
Yeah, Shane was assaulted versus D-Bry was just in he unprovoked called Miz a coward. That's not.
It'll be better with his approach.
That's a manager cannot say that about an employee. That's not going to lead to a very friendly work environment.
But, I don't really fault Daniel because he had to deal with Triple H and Stephanie, and Lord knows they were not professional towards him.
Mm. It's true. That is absolutely true.
They didn't have any respect for him, so he was like, hey, maybe, around here, you become the boss, you can, but, no.
Bullied becomes the bully.
And that's kind of what happened, which led to the opening of the show, which was supposed to be Miz TV. Mm-hmm. It's turned into like a promo battle, and Miz is still. I agree with him. I'm on his side. I've always liked the Miz. I like reality TV, so I know Miz before WWE. I knew him as Mike from The Real World. Back to New York season. After 10 years, they went back to New York. And because Dolph came out and confronted him. What Dolph said is factually incorrect. Says the Miz just wanted to be famous. All that boy ever wanted to be was a wrestler. That's all he talked about on The Real World. That flies with people who don't watch reality TV, but for people like me, that sounded like a bunch of garbage. And then he challenged him to a fight. It wasn't a match. It was just a straight up fight. And he provoked him. The Miz was about to leave. And then he called him a coward. He was about to come back. And what did the Miz do? Another thing I commended him on. His wife, Maurice, talked him out of it. And he listened to his wife. Oh, he is such a bad guy. He listened to his wife.
That is a cardinal sin. Among WWE management's playbook. Why would you ever want to do that?
Why would you ever want to listen to your wife? Lord, no. What kind of man is that? He is such a coward. Advice. So, I liked it. I
loved how the show opened. First of all, I love how they're doing the cold openings now.
Yes, I liked it.
Really, really like that. That's a really nice touch. But I loved how when we got back after the intro or whatever, Miz came out before his music hit. And he was just like walking with purpose down to the ring. Like, I'm not fucking waiting for my cue card to hit. You know, I'm going now. I'm going to go say some shit. And that was great. His is bringing the fire. Like, there's no doubt about it.
Yeah.
And, I mean, the way that he got that crowd all worked up, the crowd was chanting, "Coward, coward." This was some, like, 1985, like, Southern wrestling shit. Like, that was real heel heat, and it was beautiful.
It was, the crowd was, I think that was, like, the most into the show that the crowd was that open. I don't know. I didn't watch certain aspects of the show.
We'll get to that.
But watched, the crowd was the most excited. They wanted to see Dolph Ziggler kick the Miz's ass, and that's his role. And he played like he knows who he is in that ring so well. Like once he decides to stop wrestling, he needs a job at the PC.
Yeah.
And he needs to be teaching about character development and promos. Especially teaching heels how to get heat.
Yeah. Yeah, totally agree with that. I also think he would be an incredible heel comic. I think he would be really good in that role.
Yeah, he would be. He's doing some A+ work.
Oh yeah. The A-lister.
Well, I'm gonna talk about. You want to the thing I didn't too much like they need to start giving some of the other women that are not well known to the crowd a little bit more time to show who they are.
Yeah.
Who knows? Like, if you didn't watch Alexa Bliss in NXT, you'll be like, so what's so special about her?
Yeah, what's her big deal? Yeah, that's true. She hasn't gotten like any mic time at all, and mic work and character work is her strong suit. Like, I know she's been improving in the ring, although tonight she was not very good, I have to say.
Oh God.
She was a little sloppy.
Like, this is the thing I noticed. Natalya knocked Becky off. So Becky comes to the ring. It's standard heel tactic. Was distracted. Natalya did not provoke any kind of... She didn't cheat at all.
Yeah.
Was turned. And then she waited for the ref to look around so she can get the tag with Alexa. And I was just like,
Yeah, that was super awkward. Like when the ref was distracted, why weren't they beating down Naomi? You know, like they just stood there, like they did a tag and then realized the ref didn't see it, so we're just like standing there, and I was like, this is not really great right now.
That's not really on Alexa. That's on Natty. She's supposed to know better.
Yeah, Natty should know these things like the back of her hand, and she doesn't. She consistently makes weird mistakes, and also she's the worst taunter on the planet. Absolutely the worst.
Yay!
What the fuck are you doing, Natty?
The best thing about that match was when Carmella snuck Nikki Bella. Poor Nikki. Poor little Tink. Poor little... Look, I'm about to come through the screen if Carmella jumped Nikki Bella one more damn time. He's like... It's getting ridiculous. Come on, Nikki. Come on, Nikki. Where's Brie?
Yes, where's Brie? Where's Brie backing up Nikki? Yeah, although you didn't watch the pre-show, did you?
Yeah, well, she said that Brie's trying to go make babies.
Yeah, she said that Brie's trying to make babies, and I was just like, damn, that's rather blunt.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? She just said, oh, you know, her and Daniel are fucking a lot, so...
She literally said, not literally said that, but pretty much. She was like, yeah, they be fucking. They be getting down.
She ain't got time for this wrestling stuff. She got babies to make. But look, I know, you know, want them to spend too much time on Nikki Bella and forget about people that they need to develop. And I will also say, Naomi and her interest is kind of growing on me.
Yeah, I was gonna say that too. It's something different, you know, like it's something different, and I think the crowd is kind of responding to it. Like I don't think that they're like huge into it, but I think they're kind of into it, you know, because it's something different. And in WWE, something different is so rare that like even if it's the dumbest thing ever, and this is not the dumbest thing ever, but even if it was, it'd be like, oh, this is new, so okay, I'll give it a shot, you know.
Right. It's not what you used to. It's not just somebody coming out to some old generic song and trying to look tough or smiling a whole lot, depending on what their alignment's supposed to be.
Right.
Yeah. Do it and swinging that hair and shaking that booty. I was like, look out. I see why Jimmy got you. I swear, Jimmy.
Oh, yeah, he done well.
You remember when Team Bad was twerking with New Day, right? And Biggie.
No, that never happened.
Biggie said something.
Oh, that's right. Biggie was tweeted it right to Jimmy, didn't he?
Yeah, he was talking about how he had been all up on his wife's ass. And I'm like, those are fighting words, especially with that ass. Have you seen? And I liked her little baby face. They didn't get enough time to do what they needed to do in the ring, but I liked her little baby face. You know, selling. I like the little moves she put. You know, some people it takes time. I don't think, you know, shoot her to the top of the moon, but I think she's a solid player. She could. I think she's a little something different. You know.
Yeah.
I'll give her that.
Yeah, I mean, there's no doubt, like, she's got a role to play, like, for sure. I don't think she's ever going to win the title. I don't think she would ever really, you know, should or need to want to win the title. You know, you're not going to be pushing her as one of the big stars in your division. That's obviously Nikki and Becky, and well, I mean, personally, I would like to think Alexa, but she's gotten, you know, no time to talk at all. So maybe they don't see that in her, which is a little bit weird to me. But I don't know.
It's all the attention's going to Carmella right now.
Yeah, Carmella's getting all the heel attention, which is all right. You know, I get working for her. You know, so that's good. But I don't know. We'll see. Who do you think's gonna win? Who do you think's gonna win at Backlash?
Oh, well, the rumor is Nikki Bella,
right?
And I hope it's either her or Becky Lynch, but they might want to go heel champion first.
Yeah, right. But if they're doing heel champion, oh God, please tell me they're not putting it on Natty.
Carmella. But the only person they're paying it to,
that would be.
I don't know. It's probably going to be Nikki, though.
Yeah.
I think she'll have a short reign.
Yeah. You think so? I don't know. We'll see. I don't know. They've got some interesting things to do. So I'm still feeling pretty good about that division. There's a lot more going on in that division than there is in the Raw division somehow.
Yeah. Okay, well, we can get to the tag team tournament, and we'll talk about the first match, which was the Hype Bros, which a certified, like a glorified squash match that they had against the Vaudevillains. But I liked it. I like their energy. The crowd seemed to respond to them. There's a part in their song where they say hype over and over, and it's like a chant.
Hype! Yeah.
Really getting the crowd to say that along with the music. But other than that, I really, phrases is going to be choo choo playboy, like Mojo Rawley.
Choo playboy. Yeah, that was.
He said choo choo playboy. I was like, what? Okay.
Yeah, Mojo does have energy.
Him.
That's true. There's no doubt about it. He's got an energy, and I remember like a year and a half ago, maybe even 2 years ago, when he was a young pup down in NXT, people were real sick of him. Like they were not digging it at all. But I think people are coming around a little bit. He's not getting booed, at least, like he was sometimes in NXT in the last couple of years. But
I just hope, with working on the main roster, they don't take that twinkle out of his eyes. Like they do with so many other guys.
With literally everybody else. Yeah, the match was...
see them taking it. Go ahead.
The match was it's probably only like 3.5, maybe 4 minutes long, but it's a nice little sprint that they did. I thought it was nice that they didn't work any rest holds or anything, or not any notable ones, not any lengthy ones at least. It was just like action, 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 action. If you're gonna have a short match, that's what you should be doing. I thought that was very well structured and very well laid out. There wasn't a whole bunch to it, but I thought what it was, those few minutes, it was done well in those few minutes.
Yeah, it was. They made the most of their minutes.
Mm-hmm.
That was in the tournament was Heath Slater versus the Headbangers. Now let me just say, I think it's Marsh, whoever did the springboard.
Yeah.
The other one has to go back home. But the other one, he can stay. He can still work. But the other one, nah, baby, no honey, not at all.
I'm kind of never want to see them again.
Anything special to begin with,
right? I literally had never. I'm certain I had heard of them, but my brain had totally forgotten when they were like Headbangers are coming back. I was like, I don't know who those guys are. I literally have never heard of these people before in my life.
I only remember because one of them, the one who can still work, later on after they broke up, he was Beaver Cleavage.
What?
And it was an incest-based character.
What?
Vince McMahon and Vince Russo. Well, no, I think it was really Vince Russo. The skits that came out where he was like he had his mother, which was actually played by his actual girlfriend.
Oh,
overtly incestuous towards each other, and then they dropped that, and then storyline for him, he turned out to be abusive towards her. So it went from shitty to shittier. My God,
that sounds awful.
Yeah, and then that lasted for a cup of coffee, and then I never heard from him again. Rev Kane probably does, because he knows every wrestler on the planet.
Rev knows everything.
As soon as they come out of wrestling school, Reverend Kane knows who they are.
Seriously.
I love him for that. But the match was okay, But I really wanted to talk about the segment where Renee Young goes to visit Heath in his single wide trailer.
Holy shit.
Now, some people might be afraid that he's going to get the Sandow treatment, but I don't think so. They seem to care about this young man more than they did, with Sandow. Like, Sandow's story was still kind of in service to The Miz in a lot of ways. This story is all about Heath. He's the star, and they're letting him shine. His wife, like whoever she was, I want to see her again in another skit. And somebody, I think it was Gino that tweeted, it was like, Rhino is sleeping with that woman.
No, he didn't.
Like I would have, yes, and I would never. That would have never crossed my mind.
Oh my God,
I did not get that at all.
Such a dark turn to this story. Oh shit! Oh man, woo! You know what my first reaction was when I saw her? I was like, "That's a fake wife." Like, I thought the whole thing was a setup. I was like, there's something weird going on here. But it turned out that she was just really odd. The whole thing was incredible. First of all, shout out to Renee Young for giving great reaction faces. Just killing that. What Rhino, when they first walk in, Rhino's peering through around the curtain, looking outside like he's expecting somebody. What the hell was that about? I honestly, like, from the minute I saw Rhino looking out the curtain, I was like, I'm all in. I'm all into this segment already.
They're already so over with the crowd. Like, American Alpha better watch out, goddammit.
Yeah, right? We're gonna be some dueling chants in this in the finals.
If they make it to the end, which I do think they'll beat the Hype Bros somehow.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. Let's talk about Rhino with Cheese Whiz.
Making the little faces with the Cheese Whiz.
He made a frowny face when the Cheese Whiz. The camera cuts to a close-up shot of it, and then it pans back out, and Rhino then smiles like he's happy that he made a frowny face in Cheese Whiz on a salty. What is going on right now? That was wonderful. That was absolutely wonderful. And like for a second there when I was watching, I'm probably gonna make a dumb comment here, but for a second there when I was watching, I was like, is this offensive? Are they making fun of like rural white trash folk a little bit too much? And I was like, I think I'm fine with it, but like I could see how someone would be like, this rubbed me the wrong way.
Offended.
Yeah. But I think that would be, but I don't know. Like I've had that thought for a split second, and I was like, I don't think that you should take it that way.
That's always been Heath's.
Yeah, that's always been his.
It's always been that guy.
That's always been his.
It's always been that guy. If they did anything like that was kind of tasteless, is like, and he doesn't hate his life. He loves his life. Like, he's like, oh, baby. Oh, look at that spread. Look at those Vienna sausages.
Vienna sausages. Yeah, that was great. Like, yeah, they played it like, they could have played it like he's a sad sack, like, shithead, but it was like, he's okay with himself, you know? And that makes us want to root for him more. Because he, like, feels real. He feels real, and it's like, you know what? This guy... He's an all right guy, you know. He's kind of a shithead previously, but he seems like an all right dude right now. And you know, his story, the way they're building it, I think it's building some real sympathy for the guy.
It's just great. It's crazy how he's like the most developed character on the roster.
It's very impressive. I'll give him that. And I have to assume that he's putting in a lot of input into it on his own. Like
I feel like he is.
I feel like he's definitely going all in with this, and that's always good to see a performer really, you know, put a lot of craft into their work. So that's good to see. Did you watch Talking Smack? Did you see the team name that they came up with for themselves?
No, I missed that part. What was it?
Beauty and the Man Beast.
Oh my God, that is great. Beauty and the Man Beast.
Yeah, I was a big fan. of that. That was pretty. And then they did the whole like, oh, I'm the Man Beast. Like he said he was the Man Beast, and Rhino was. Also, Rhino's whole bit of like, I see promise in the young man. I see promise in his eyes. It's just like that was so. I laughed too, but I was like, that is so weird. That is such a weird thing to say. It's just like it was all working for me. So
it's not yet past its expiration date for me.
No, yeah.
I actually want to see them win the titles. I do. I don't care. I want them to win the title.
Well, I mean, he hasn't been on Raw the last 2 weeks, so I think that's what's going to happen, right?
I hope so.
Like I
don't want them to keep. Because he said he only talked to them for a bit, but I feel like he's just going to keep trying to wear them down. Yeah. I guess they could put him on Raw, but like Raw's going to have the cruiserweights and a whole bunch of other shit. So I think they're served on SmackDown.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. For sure.
Okay, so I loved the promo between Randy Orton and Bray Wyatt. The only thing I didn't like were those assholes that were trying to get a Husky Harris chant going.
I didn't even hear that.
Get over it. Get over it. Like, those guys were saying, like, pretty much sick and twisted in the head, and we plan on doing sick and twisted things to each other. It's not much of a build, but you know, some kind of hope. I don't think Bray's going over. Like, wait, what do you do with him if he loses again, though?
I don't know. I really have no idea. I mean, you know, okay, top heels now are AJ Styles is your top heel and your top performer on your brand. And then Miz is turning himself into a not like a main event like heel, but like a top tier like guy that they can use like in a lot of different ways. Yeah. So, and then Bray would be like third big heel. I don't know. Maybe they turn him baby. Like, and there's not really any indication of it, but man, that like hot when Bray was tagging with Roman like 6 months ago or whenever that was great. Yeah, that was wonderful. But then they just dropped that immediately.
It's still my favorite GIF of the year.
Oh yeah, for sure. The spear with the gun.
And then, yes. Oh my God.
Yeah,
and I'm like, well, of course, same beat together. Those guys have been like friends since FCW, so that was just great.
Yeah, that was great.
But yeah,
I didn't like this promo. I won't say I didn't like this promo. I just don't really care for the program. Like, the promo was well and then done, and like I understood it. It was also weird at the end how like Randy got in the ring, they did the Wyatt Dirt, and then they never cut back to like the ring with like Randy standing. They should have shown
Randy in the ring alone.
Right. You know? That was really confusing. Like, that was kind of a production error that like kind of took me out of it a little bit. But I thought they both did their roles well. Randy Orton always wears pants now, so Things and Stuff is happy. So, you know, that's good news. I don't know. I don't know what they're gonna do with this feud.
So
we'll see.
I think what I would like to see, because Randy's already weakened because he got his head bashed in. Just go on and let that be the excuse. Have Bray target his head the whole match and get a win. That's what I would say. And then build from there, because Bray needs a win. You need everybody to look strong. And Randy Orton can afford to take that loss. He's still Randy Orton. He'll be all right. Bray, I don't know. You know what I'm saying?
I absolutely do see what you're saying. My only thing with that is I feel like Styles' first feud will be Randy Orton. And in that case, you want Orton to go over Bray here to keep him as strong as possible as a title contender. I don't know who else would be AJ's first feud, like after he goes over Dean twice. I don't really know. I have no idea, frankly.
It probably will be Randy. You're right. Well, then if he's gonna be working Dean twice, then maybe Bray and Randy don't end at Backlash, so Bray can get a win. Then I don't know, because everybody complains about 50-50. So if Bray gets the win, Randy gets his win back. You know,
right? Yeah. Bray Wyatt is a conundrum. And by the way, AJ Styles, you spell that word CONUNDRUM. Oh my God, I'm gonna fucking.
Oh my God, AJ Styles with this.
The spelling bee.
I don't know if they're trying to bury Apollo Crews, but they are not helping him. They're not helping him.
I thought this was the best he's looked tonight in, I think, his entire time on the main roster.
In the match, yes, but his gimmick now is spelling his name to people.
Yeah, his gimmick is I mean,
I'm so forgettable. No one remembers my name.
That is true. To be fair, that is literally the most character development Apollo Crews has had in his entire run in both NXT and WWE. So, beggars can't be choosers, I guess, on this front.
Like, okay, they don't steer into things that are obvious, that are real fucking obvious, like somebody that everybody's booing, but no, we're not gonna book him like accordingly. He's getting the shit booed out of him, but so what? Fuck you. But one time somebody forgets the dude's name and I got it. That's his new gimmick. No. I just don't like it. It's like how what is that gonna really do for him? Nobody remembers me. I have to keep reminding people over and over.
Yeah. I mean, I can see how they would go somewhere with that. So I'm willing to see if they build on it more, because I still think they feel like he could be something in the future, but they also realize that he's a little bit farther off than they had originally imagined.
Yeah.
I don't know. I thought he was good. I thought his whole little bit going up tomorrow and saying that was a punch, P-U-N-C-H. Like it was dorky, but I kind of liked it. I'm not gonna lie. It was also like a vicious right hand that he had just given AJ. So like it works with like that huge ass like strike, and then like the cheery dorky like spelling out. I don't know, that juxtaposition worked for me a little bit. And that's definitely Cruz's best match in WWE by far, because they didn't have him working like under battling a rest hold forever, you know. But like like he's not a guy that you're gonna like want to start clapping up. Like if he's being held down in a rest hold, you want to see him like do flippy shit and do like power moves and stuff. And so they kind of just traded blows back and forth a little bit. And I thought that was really well done. And I mean, AJ Styles gets good matches out of basically everybody except Chris Jericho. Everybody except Chris Jericho. So
yeah,
dude is good.
What else happened on?
I thought AJ was good throughout the whole show. Again, I thought when he first showed up with Cruz, like he's still wearing that ridiculous
never give up
on his, and like combined,
it's a headband now.
It's a headband. It's not even an armband. It's a headband now. Combined the headband with his awful haircut, and it just is the most ridiculous picture like imaginable. That's great. And then the whole thing when he came out to the ring and weird hair Greg Hamilton was like, he would now like to be known as the face who runs the place. And I was just like, good shit heading.
Fantastic.
He's doing some great shit heading right now. Like, he's absolutely killing it. And I think, he's been, like, him, The Miz, and Heath have been, like, the best parts of SmackDown in the last probably month or so. And I feel like AJ definitely has been carrying the show, like, because he's in the big angles, and he's in, like, 3, 4, 5 times a night on the show and always delivering, and the crowd is staying hot for him. And I think there's a difference between that, like the way they're booking AJ and how AJ is coming across and how the crowd is responding to it, and how the WWE champion is basically non-existent on this show. Like the last 2 weeks he showed up at like 9:40 both weeks, and you know, didn't really miss him, to be honest, you know. Last week on commentary he was fine, but
they announced the match with Baron Corbin way before the show started. And
I didn't like that.
No.
Because SmackDown
I'm not going to watch that.
Yeah, SmackDown has been it's not a bad idea. SmackDown has been really good about giving us reasons for why things are happening, but they were just like, yeah, this match is happening. And that was like kind of the first thing lately in the last couple of weeks where it's like, well, they didn't really justify this at all happening. They were just like, all right, this is a match. And it's like, you know, you could have done something. You could have had Baron run into Dean backstage and like talk some shit. at least. Give us 90 seconds before the show to do that. So
yeah.
So that kind of bugged me, and the match itself was bad. It was,
but you bring up a good point though. It does kind of seem like they're kind of keeping him off TV. Like, yeah, we ain't got but a few more shows till he drops this bad boy, so we just gonna keep him over there.
It really is kind of like that. Like, and I don't know. The problem is WWE main eventers nowadays, like, there is so much emphasis placed on big main event pay-per-view matches, and Dean just doesn't have that in him. I'm sorry, he does not have it in him. He's a poor... So
you're telling me we're not going to ever see Big Match Dean?
No, Big Match Dean is not a thing. That's not a thing at all. It never has been and never will be. It's I don't know. It's interesting. I don't know how AJ is clearly the guy, even though Dean has the championship. Yeah. It's interesting, especially after like Stone Cold went in on him. What was that, like 3 weeks ago, a month ago, or something? And it's like we haven't seen anything changed out of Dean. Nothing. He's not adding anything at all of value of late to his character, and that's like the whole bit you missed it, but the whole bit at the end was like AJ tried to interfere and accidentally enziguried Corbin, so then the match was a DQ. So Corbin won the match, which was weird also. And then Dean and AJ kind of went into it a little bit, and at the end AJ crotched himself on the ropes. On the top rope, and then he just sat there on the top rope for like 2 minutes, selling the entire time. And Dean was like patting him on the shoulder and like shook his hand. It was like it was way too cutesy.
Dean didn't kill him?
No, Dean didn't punch him or do anything. He just sat there and like posed with him. He's the fucking champion. This is your title contender, and he just like was like jokey, cutesy with him, and I was like, this is a bad look.
Come on.
It was like the worst that the stuff that we hate about Dean the most, like when he does really stupid character stuff like that, and it was at the really worst time to do it, and it really didn't look good. Like it was really poor. I'm pretty disappointed, I'm not gonna lie. But
no. Oh, I'm glad I didn't watch that.
Yeah, it was weird. The whole main event match was weird. Like Corbin looked good because Corbin's strikes are great, and I always pop for big strikers. So, yes, and Rev reminds me that AJ on Talking Smack referred to his
Jesus zipper.
Jesus zipper. Oh my God. I can't believe he said that. That was hilarious.
He was adorable right then. He was like, and then Renee was like, "Is this injury going to affect you?" He's like, "Come on now, Renee."
He's like, "No." Yeah, he was immediately like, "No, that's not happening." Yeah, that was good. And then he challenged Daniel Bryan to like a unsanctioned match. It was like, all right, sure, let's do it.
So you think definitely the writing's on the wall. There's not going to be any shenanigans. AJ's just going to beat.
Yeah.
Dean take the title.
AJ's hot right now. He just beat Cena. He just beat Cena with interference, at Money in the Bank, and then took the pin in a 6-man tag at Battleground. So whatever. But then beat him clean 1-on-1 at SummerSlam. So he's hot as shit right now. He's putting in awesome work in the ring. He's getting good, really good to great TV matches. Like last week, his match with Ziggler was great. It was like a great TV match. And this week was pretty good with Apollo Crews too. So he's putting in all those good matches. The time is right. Like, and Dean really, he's had that belt, and honestly, he hasn't really done much with it. And I don't know, people can say like, oh, the writing's the problem, blah blah blah, but I don't know. Other people are making the most out of their stuff on SmackDown, and Dean is really not.
But I mean, when you tell Stone Cold that you kind of got a little leeway with your scripting, then yeah, some of it falls on you. If you say you have this leeway, then obviously you're kind of cool with how you're being portrayed, right?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, it was. He's been disappointing lately.
I'm just gonna be straight up and honest. Dean is lucky Roman Reigns, because I feel like that's the only reason he got the title in the first place. And that's why I never liked the circumstances about it. Once I found out Dean's the champion, 2 days later, Roman Reigns is suspended. Oh, that's why Dean's the freaking champion.
Yeah,
Okay.
makes sense now.
Okay. But okay, we can my grade, since I didn't watch the main event, I gave the show an 8 out of 10. I was entertained. I laughed a lot.
I thought the first. I'll say this: the first hour of the show was an A+ for me. I was on the way to giving it another A+. I'm not giving the show an A+. I'll tell you that right now. But you guys will see later.
Okay, let's get to this.
Let's do it.
Memory called. Okay, so we have a new Universal Champion in Kevin Owens, and let me start my whole thing off by saying congratulations to Kevin Owens. And I really wish he had have won the belt. But he didn't win the belt. He didn't do anything. Oh, he pinned Cass. That was impressive after a barrage of other moves. So that didn't even look impressive because everybody had to take him down. He's just the one that got the pin. He pinned Roman Reigns. Seth Rollins pinned Roman Reigns. But Seth Rollins didn't even get the pin rightfully. Triple H got the pin. And then Seth Rollins got pinned by Kevin Owens because Triple H and Triple H waited the longest time, because I watched it on YouTube. I didn't watch a single second of Raw and don't intend to next week. So long with Seth Rollins twince his legs before he hit that damn pedigree. I was like, could you go on and pedigree this bastard already and get this over with? Like, it was a ridiculous amount of time. Like, if he was in a 30-minute match, fuck that. All hail Triple H, but booking part-timers like. They are so much better than these guys. That's the problem I had with Brock. That's the problem I had with Undertaker. That's the problem I had with Triple H. When they show up and they are facing the men, they are treated, the other men that are there all the time are treated like scrubs. I just had this rant last week and I gotta do it again. God damn it. It's like Kevin Owens is a heel. And I probably would have been okay if Triple H had have just did it to Seth Rollins. He was getting his revenge on Roman. No, he didn't. He already got that revenge. He won the title from him in the Royal Rumble. He beat the shit out of him in front of fans that loved it. You lost a match. It happens. Oh, Triple H can't dare lose a match. He had to be the one to sneak Roman. Rusev couldn't have got that. Honestly. And people were like, well, then it would have been overbooked. Fuck you. Somebody who's a regular person would have had some agency in that match. And then the fact, like, even if Kevin Owens winked at him or Kevin Owens knew about it, this was not Kevin Owens' plan. Kevin Owens is just lucky. It's like he tripped, stumbled, and now he's the Universal Champion. I don't like that shit. And people were like, oh, well, all the possibilities really for the past 3 years. Like, I understand if this was Triple H and he was booking it, I would give it some leeway. And there are some possibilities. And Lord, I'm wrong. I will say I'm wrong. Feeling that I'm going to be laughing in a few weeks when everybody else is like, fuck this shit. Kevin Owens just another. And I'm like, oh, really? But everybody was coming down on me when I first said it. Like, this is bullshit to me. Kevin Owens was just, and it's a new title. And you just hand it to, I didn't like. It's just like, and then the headline on WWE.com, as soon as you turn to it, it's the King of Kings. Is that Kevin Owens' nickname? Is it? No, that's Triple H's nickname. So this is all about Triple H and who he chose to be the champion once again. And the only saving grace is that Kevin Owens is the shit. And anytime he gets the microphone, he's going to be gold. And he's going to carry that belt well. I don't know. It actually kind of looks good on him, too. Like, it does.
Yeah, it does a little bit.
I hated was that Triple H was just so fucking strong, and Kevin Owens was like, "Oh, really? Oh, thank you, Triple H. I can win the title. Thank you." I would have, like, Kevin Owens just got a chair and just beat the shit out of somebody, or if he, like what he did to Sammy, kept powerbombing him. Oh, Seth Rollins, he could have kept powerbombing Seth Rollins' little butt over and over. Stop the match. He can't take it, and do it that way. I just would have, if it's about Kevin Owens and Triple H, is not, but I keep thinking about Triple H signed a 3-year contract right after, before or after WrestleMania, either one. So all I'm thinking is 3-year contract. This angle ain't gonna end well. And then people are like, well, what if it's Triple H versus Stephanie? You know what? If you've never seen that, go watch it on the network, because they've done that too. Like, it's just, no. And then, Seth Rollins versus Triple H. Yeah, that's going to be a great match. Can't wait. Like, it's all these NXT invasion. It makes no fucking sense. They work for the same company. Everybody on NXT is going to Raw, SmackDown. I can see if nobody from the draft NXT, then you have a gripe. But, like, I don't think what y'all think is gonna happen is gonna happen. I hope it does. But all I'm gonna say is, fuck that shit. I'm not watching until it's gotten better. Okay, you go give your thoughts on it.
Well, you know me. As soon as I saw what was going down, I full on worked myself into a shoot last night. And yeah, I was pitching the whole. As I've been pitching for a long time now. I mean, I wrote that article, which I'm pretty certain you still never read, about how Triple H became the most over man in wrestling. But and Vines was saying it too. The only real babyface in WWE these days is NXT as a brand, and WWE as a brand is like a permanent heel, and the fans absolutely hate it. So there's a 98% chance you are correct. I'm gonna go ahead and say that right now. I guarantee. I'm pretty close to guaranteeing that you will be able to, in like 2-3 weeks, like, look at this shit, you dumbasses, while Triple H is cutting 15-minute promos and Kevin Owens is just standing around. And when that happens, I will gladly eat crow. But there were a couple of things about how they did it that piqued my interest a little bit. One, first of all, is that Owens is fresh. He's not a Shield guy. Who those three guys have been running the shit for 2-3 years now, and they've not done a very good job, to be quite honest. And Kevin Owens is a guy who can talk really well, has a really well-developed and defined character that he can advance into a lot of different places in a lot of different feuds. It's a character that you can adapt to a lot of different people, and his matches are not spectacular, but they're very PWG, trading bombs, big matches, and all of his stuff. His match with Zayn at Payback and at Battleground both got over. They started slow, but then they got over huge at the end, and the crowd was full on into it. They gave him a standing ovation halfway through the match at Battleground, or 3/4 of the way through. So he's shown that he can build those big matches, he did with Cena last year too. So he's fresh. Secondly, Triple H didn't have his music hit, didn't come down the ramp, came through the crowd as essentially, if this is anybody else, we're saying, okay, this is like an invasion. It's like sort of thing. This is how, Scott Hall walked down, on Nitro and just came through the crowd and grabbed a mic in the ring. That's how invasions start. So he came through the crowd, did his shit, knocked both of the Shield guys out with pedigrees, I will point out. Gave Owens, the pin. I made the joke on Twitter of like, Trips was saying to Owens, all right, you sold out Barclays for me last year. Here you go. But I feel like when he went and grabbed the belt from Mick, and like he grabbed the belt, Mick had the belt on his shoulder, and he just like pulled it right off and just looked him in the eye and was like, do something about it. So like clearly they're not aligned, and Steph and Foley are despite having like nominally different alignments, are aligned as management. So he grabs the belt and gives it to KO, and then just raises his hand, gets his mark photo, of course, and then walks off and goes back through the crowd. So that's a little bit different for me. And I think they've got some things they could go, even if it's not like my dream ideal NXT as the babyface takes over and replaces, the current hierarchy in the company. It's something.
Okay, let me ask you about that. Let me ask you about this event.
All right.
Why?
Because WWE is a dead territory. That's why.
So, okay, WWE is a dead territory. So what you're saying is they're going to take everybody in NXT and replace them on Raw.
No, that's not what I'm saying at all. I'm saying it's a kayfabe. It's a weird work shoot kayfabe reality angle where we know that Trips is next in line to actually run like creative in the company. So
and he's trying to take over.
Take over, early from Vince, that sort of thing. And honestly, yeah.
Here's my question though. Okay, so if NXT is invading the main roster, what is stopping Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins from going down to Full Sail and fucking somebody up at NXT?
Because NXT is going to win this invasion. They don't want to book.
Who do you think books this show?
I know. Well, here's the key point. With all these rumors going around backstage, we've been hearing it for like 2 weeks now, like big apocalyptic event in the wrestling world. Like we've been hearing these rumors, and we've been hearing these rumors about actual power struggles backstage. Vince is 71 years old. He's got to be in poor health. Maybe it's time. I don't know. It's unlikely. And yes, it's clearly. It's a pipe dream. It's not happening. I'm fully aware that this is not actually happening. But to refresh WWE, this is the sort of thing they would need to do. They would need to go all in on something radical like this. I don't think they will, but I wish they would.
They have to see. I was watching and I saw in real time the change to the Attitude Era. And it wasn't, they're cursing, or the show felt different. Watching Raw started to feel different. Outside of the main event, different to you?
Not really, other than the fact that like the most over performer on the roster was a woman.
No, I'm not talking about like I'm talking about the booking, the structure of the show, what they pay attention to, how they build the stories. Did any of that feel different?
No, that was an interesting point. Someone brought up, I think yesterday or this morning in the Raw recap thread, that they said it was better show than SmackDown last week, and I thought that was a claim that is not based in fact.
They were just on a Kevin Owens high.
In any way. Yeah, that was Kevin Owens high. And like, I'm wearing a KO shirt right now. I'm still on a Kevin Owens high. That's pretty great. But I think the way that SmackDown last week and the first half of tonight's show, like, built their stories and built their show and built their program, it is definitely radically different than what we are used to seeing. I will say that SmackDown is different. There's no doubt in my mind. It feels legitimately different.
And on Raw too. I think that will be the change, and then something, I don't know what, maybe that ugly MMA guy that keeps challenging the wrestlers.
Oh.
If he comes in talking shit, and then like the same thing, but kind of the same thing when Stone Cold got in Mike Tyson's face, something along those lines, because I saw it in real time. I was the weird wrestling girl in school. Mike Tyson came on wrestling, Stone Cold got in his face. The next week, everybody wants to talk to the weird wrestling girl. It wants to know what the fuck is going on.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when I started to see shift in start to turn around. So I'm sorry. In this thing, I don't think so. If Triple H ain't omnipresent and it's really the Kevin Owens show, I don't think you're going to get him to get booed, though. Especially, I don't think he getting booed anymore.
Yeah. No, I don't think, I honestly think you have to turn Owens' face. Like, the "You Deserve It" chant he got was loud.
One of the loudest I've ever heard.
It was loud for real. People haven't wanted to boo this guy for forever, basically. You know, like
since the Cena feud, he's been over.
Yeah, like all the smarky like shitheads we've always loved Kevin Owens. You know, and then his really impressive character work. Like, remember the Raw on July 4th. Where it was like the food fight in the beginning, and Kevin Owens immediately climbed under the table and just sat there, and then at the end, like, rolled out, and like the camera cut to him, and like you can hear the crowd like laughing, like in appreciation of like the character work that was going on. So like I feel a lot of people are into the dude right now. So and honestly. Is face Seth better? Is face Seth better than heel Seth? I don't know.
Oh.
I think face Owens has a lot more money in him than face Seth.
Well, certain people. Uh-oh. Did you just take a buckle bomb? What happened?
No, sorry.
Because as soon as you said that, your screens. Okay. I agree. There are certain people that love him to death, and everything he does is the greatest. But you know what? Those people, it's not enough, I don't think. And how do you turn a guy face who would have been just fine with somebody else getting screwed over, but when it's him, oh, poor me. Nah.
And it's also currently working a gimmick where he hurts wrestlers and celebrates that fact.
Yeah. Oh, that is the worst laugh. Oh my God. Let's not even get. It's not about Seth Rollins. It's about Kevin Owens, and he does deserve it. And I just wanted it to be. When I went, I was off. I came straight to Cageside to see who won, and dreading it that it was going to be the wrong person, and the right person won. And then I was like, "Fucking who?" That's why in the Raw reactions thread I posted those pictures, because I'm like, "Oh, so they give you the same old shit," and everybody's like, "No, it's new and different." Because he isn't Sheamus. I'm like, okay, if you say so. But it wasn't Roman and Seth, but because of what Triple H did, and the story still leaves it open for both of those motherfuckers to still be in the main event.
Yeah.
Doesn't it? So until that gets fixed, until he move on, But it was an absolute right call, 100%. I just didn't like the way it was executed. Not because of Triple H, all hell, but because I don't trust Vince McMahon's booking anymore. I don't.
Yeah, and you know, it's so weird. It's like when I was reading the Daily today, when we were going through it, and people were discussing, I was looking at it, I was like, how did I become the guy who was like, let's just see what happens? I was like, how did that become my gimmick? It's like, put the title on Kevin Owens, and immediately I'm like, I'm willing to see WWE out here. I'll trust them for a minute. I mean, shit, they gave Bailey a backpack, and I was like, you know what? It might be okay. It might be all right. So,
yeah, but if they just let Kevin Owens be Kevin Owens and run with him, and then to make up for Triple H winning the title for him, book him like a fucking world beater.
Yeah.
Triple H can still poke his head in, but I don't trust Stephanie with her looks, and I think that's the reason why no music was hit and Triple H came out of nowhere, because she had to act like she was surprised. Mm-hmm. And then, what did I tell you when this draft first came? Mick Foley's not long. He was not long for the main roster or any roster, and probably as soon as Holy Foley over with, he gonna be sent to greener pastures. I was like, Mick Foley is not going to remain general manager. And look, Triple H is back.
Triple H is back.
Mm-hmm.
I did like that they actually managed to get a real surprise though. Like literally nobody saw that.
They had just wrote it beforehand.
That's
Before.
That's true.
Before the match, when the agents were sitting around and they were talking about. Then they were like, okay, so what's the finish? And they were like, yeah, hold on for 1 second. I'm like, what the fuck? The match is next. They're like, just 1 second, hold on.
Well,
like Triple H is gonna come and pedigree you.
I like the theory. I don't know if you heard this theory that Owens didn't know for shoot, and like the first time he was told about it was when Trips went to grab him and throw him out of the ring, and he was like, "Hey, you're going over." That's certainly not true, but I enjoy that theory.
Yeah, but I don't believe it. And I'm just gonna say, shout out to Roman Reigns, who showed up and showed his big match. Roman came to make motherfuckers look good, and he did his job. And he got pedigree, and he lost, and he's taking his punishment like a big boy instead of whining about it. And I respect that, and I appreciate that, and I just hope they just have him forget about this. Just they come and ask him, like, what do you think about Triple H and all this? And he just like, you know what? Fuck it. I don't care. I'm done. I swear to God. I swear. He's just like, look, I'm sick and tired of Triple H. I ain't been able to have a decent career since the fucking Shield broke up. I'm just trying to take care of my kid too. I'm gonna try to go take Rusev belt. Y'all deal with Triple H. I've had enough of him.
That would
I probably.
If he said that, you would like cry out of happiness. Like
I would be so if he was just like, you know what? I'm gonna let Seth deal with it and see how it feels for somebody to stab him in the back. But I'm done. I ain't got nothing to do with it. I would be so happy. But I don't trust Vince. Roman has been in the more main event since the split happened, right? Than anybody.
Yeah.
On Raw.
Yeah. 3 or 4 in a row now.
I trust Raw, but I'm telling you, if they get like 3 good ones in a row, maybe the go home leading into Clash of the Champions. If y'all have been telling me, oh, it's solid and they're telling a good story, and I see the YouTube, then I'll slowly start to tune back in. But I can't sit for 3 hours.
3 hours is a long time.
Just to get a headache. I can't do it anymore. I'm sorry. My favorite wrestlers on the show. But SmackDown is just not a hassle to watch. And Raw becomes a chore.
Yeah.
All right. You got anything to say before we get on up out of here?
No. All hail. That's what I have to say.
Yes. All hail. Triple H. Don't just say all hail. Because I might confuse you for praising Vince.
I know. You're running that gimmick now. You're running that gimmick. I've been shrugging my shoulders, rolling my eyes at that a little bit.
Well, we can end it with all hail Triple H. And just let Kevin Owens have the spotlight, please. You didn't let Randy have it. Let KO have it. All right.